Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode, an episode that is with a very, very special guest. It's been quite some time since I've uploaded an episode and been back on the channel, and on the return, it had to be a big one. Joining me on the podcast today is a very talented young player who joined me on the podcast before, just a few months after she'd gone professional. She caused havoc in the Portuguese league and went on to do the same so far in the WSL. Joining Liverpool for a historic club fee, she had quite the season last season with the Reds. Continuing to put up highlight reels, the young Canadian player got a huge and historic move in the summer to the Gunners after she became the first £1 million player. Racking up trophies already, I don't think she needs more of an introduction. It's none other than Olivia Smith.
Olivia, it's a pleasure to have you here. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing really well. It's been a minute since you've been on camp with Canada. How does
hmm
it feel to be back and repping that Canada shirt?
Oh, it's amazing. I always love coming into camp and seeing all the girls. It's such a family and yeah, and it was a good time as well to get away from club and just to be, around the girls again.
What have you missed most now that you are back with them again?
Mm, just the culture, just having fun. I mean, like, it's such a chill environment, so it's cool to be in.
It's a chill environment. It's chill weather, I've heard, now that you guys are doing camp in Switzerland. It's not
Mhm.
usually that camp is in Europe, so well, not in a cold place in Europe, so it's a bit of a
Yeah.
different scenery here. Less travel for you, which is good.
Yeah, exactly. I was so thankful to hear that I was in Europe. So,
Olivia, last time we chatted, it was over a year ago, and it was just a few months after you signed your first professional contract. And at the end of the interview, I'd asked you, what are you hoping to do, or where do you see yourself in the next few years? And three things that you mentioned is that you want to be playing for a big club, one of the biggest clubs, you want to be a better forward, and you want to be playing Champions League. It
mhm.
seems like a few mission accomplished.
Yeah, I think so. It's just crazy because I don't even know where the time went. Like, I feel like it just went by so quick, and to be where I am now, it's just a dream.
When you look back at, Olivia just starting over at Sporting and seeing how things have changed over the last, under 2 years, what do you credit that, quick, fast-paced change that's all seemed so positive?
Yeah, I think a big part is my family, just with all the support and my decision making. We've all done that together. And then another big thing is I've always said, whichever club I go to, it's all about the coaches and how they're going to make me better. And I think at Sporting and at Liverpool, like that was a massive thing in my game, to make me a better player to be where I am now.
hmm I do want to talk about Liverpool, which is obviously what you've mentioned. And in terms of decision making, it looked like you were thriving in Portugal, but in some ways it looked like you were also looking for a bigger challenge. I remember you said it took you some time to adjust, but I mean, quickly or surely you found your footing, and from there it was just up. What was the adjustment period like, kind of after settling in Sporting, having to quickly then move to the WSL right away?
I think it's something I've had to deal with for most of my life. I've hopped from club to club so quickly within a year or a year and a half. But being abroad and doing that as well is a little bit more difficult. But to go to England, it kind of reminds me of home. I feel like it's a similar kind of vibe. But going to Liverpool, that environment was just amazing, and they brought me in so quickly. Obviously, the football bit you have to adjust. It's different compared to Portugal. Um, Portugal was the perfect place for me to get started, but then now I'm put into a league where some of the best players are. It's the best league in the world. So yeah, there was definitely a couple months to adjust, not just to the life, but the style of football they wanted to play. But once I got my feet, I mean, yeah, it was fun.
Talk to me about that adjustment and sort of the 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 culture of the club. It looked like that they really welcomed you with open arms.
Yeah, definitely. It also helped me settle in a bit quicker. I always want an environment where it feels like family, and then when you're on the pitch, it kind of just shows the connection that we had. And everyone was just so welcoming, and I felt comfortable, which is the biggest thing. Um, yeah.
Do you have a favorite memory that you think about with Liverpool?
Um, there's been so many. Maybe some I can't say on here. Um, but I remember our match at Anfield against Manchester United. Um, and it was just a massive, massive game for us. Manchester United were like were basically undefeated, not many goals scored against them, and for us to play at Anfield and win our first game at Anfield against United, I felt like that was a moment that really brought us all together. And I think you can see there's a picture of all of us, and it was just like pure love and passion and everything like that. So that's kind of stuck in my head, and that will be a memory that I hold on to forever.
What were the celebrations like afterwards?
Oh, we were going crazy. I think we went out afterwards. So probably don't remember too much, but yeah, it was just a great experience.
I think that encapsulates how big of a win that was. What I'm getting here is that obviously it was such a cherished time at Liverpool, but you've also sort of done these like 1 year and a half here, a year at this club, that club. You've sort of done that from the youth stages. Did
Mhm.
that make the goodbyes any easier at Liverpool, knowing that you've done that a few times before?
Not at all. I mean, honestly, Liverpool was one of my hardest goodbyes. Um, they were literally like my family, and even just with the staff, I don't think I've been so close to like everybody in a club before. So that goodbye was definitely one of the hardest ever. And it's nice that I still get to see them quite a bit because we're still in the same league, obviously. So almost every time that I do, I want to cry because like I end up saying goodbye again because like, oh, maybe I'll see you in the next 2 weeks or something. But yeah, it was difficult.
Well, you're right. I guess you being in the same league, you get to see them pretty often, and you don't live too far apart
Yeah,
from each
it's
other.
not too bad. Yeah.
Um, it's Arsenal who has come in and made that change.
Mhm.
And I sort of want to ask you about, what is it for you that you look to assess when you want to move clubs or when you're looking to make a different change? Can you tell me how that process looked like and some of the things that were presented to you that really clicked with what you were looking for?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is I want to be one of the best forwards in the world. And in order to do so, you can't stay in one place. I mean, for me, I've always had to go look for something bigger and better where I'm going to learn and become the greatest. And that's me being put in an environment where I'm playing with world-class players all around the world who come into an environment. And I can tell you that being in that environment, that training environment, is unreal. I've learned so much already. And yeah, it's just top standard. And then even just my conversations with Renee, it was just very promising. And I know that she'll help me become the best version of me. And not just Renee, the whole staff. Like we have an amazing staff at Arsenal. So just with the analysis and the review and everything like that will all help me get better. And also now playing on the biggest stage at Champions League, it's going to be a big one as well.
How do you describe Renee as a coach?
I'd say she's very passionate. And I think that's a big thing that I love in a coach, that she knows what she wants done and she instills that in the team and we believe in that. So then we can go and produce that on the pitch. Yeah, so I think the biggest thing is just passionate.
When it comes to some of the conversations that you've had with the coaching staff about your game and sort of what you need to do best and what you do best, does that reflect what you know about your game?
Yeah, 100%. Not even just the staff. I think the players know as well. Give me space to go 1v1, which I absolutely love. So they're playing me to my strengths, which is cool. And I mean, even other things like areas where they think I could be dangerous is aerially, which at first I was like, I don't know about that. But like in terms of like the stuff that we do in the gym and what those metrics look like, they're like, yeah, it's possible. So just working towards those things on where I can improve, but also still focusing on my areas of strength to keep improving that.
Space, 1v1s, big stage. I have to ask you about your debut goal. Can you just walk me through it as if we're reliving Olivia Smith on the pitch right now?
Yeah. So I had moved over to the left side. And I played like a little combination and I received the ball back and I'm like, I checked my shoulders, so much space. I just opened up and I'm center of the pitch and I see the goal ahead. So I just beat one player and I'm like going for it. Like this is my area where I want to shoot from. And honestly, I couldn't have pictured it any better. Like side netting, no goal is saving that. Let's be real. So yeah, it was unreal. So
Looking through some of the replays and the highlights and the pictures afterwards, I mean, if you could have scripted it, would you even script it to go on the way that it did?
honestly, yeah, yeah,
I
I
like it.
couldn't. Yeah.
Where do you get that confidence in your game from? Because there's not a lot of players that from that position would say, you know what, I'm gonna take a hit.
I think that has been instilled in me since I was young. And that comes from a lot of it, honestly, is from my dad. He's like, you have a wicked shot. And that has to do with like the Taekwondo training that I've been doing, the stuff that I do in gym, obviously. And it helps when coaches and players encourage you to do that. So that helps me build my confidence to take opportunities from those areas.
Any Taekwondo training as of late? Or...
Unfortunately, no. I think it honestly might be a hazard. I need to stay healthy and hopefully not break any bones.
Have you ever thought about playing in one of those Peter Check head safeguards just because of it feels like players are always kind of aiming at you? So
You
it
see,
feels.
someone has suggested that, but I'm like, never. I don't think I could ever put one of those on. I
Can't
feel
remember the
like,
hairdo.
look good, play good, and that just wouldn't I feel like this wouldn't suit me. So,
It's part of having that confidence, is to look good on
yeah.
the pitch.
Yeah.
When you're getting tackled, your teammates are right there beside you, talking to the ref as they should. Some of these
Mhm.
tackles look a little too ugly at times.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that team culture and some of the players that have taken you in. I know maybe you got a little feisty sometimes when you were playing against them. How was the welcome when you walked in as an Arsenal player this time?
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't really sure what to expect because we had gone through our battles. And for example, like the FA Cup game, and then we went back to play at the Emirates. I know me and Katie had a bit of a battle. So I was a little bit nervous going in and like seeing Katie and then also actually getting to know these world-class players who I look up to and they've accomplished so much. But they were all amazing. And I think I'm honestly the closest who really brought me in was Alessia, Kyra. I also came from Liverpool with Taylor, so that's kind of like my little group right now.
Mhm. Um, I wanted, I think the big talk around this transfer was you being the first £1 million player, and I think you've been asked that a million times. So I want to divert a little bit away from that, and I want to ask you about, how does it feel to be that player as a person of color? And this is something that you said when we were talking about your childhood, is that it would be, there wasn't many people that looked like you. When you become that sort of player with a big historic, moment, regardless of what it is, how does that make you feel? And how does that make maybe, 10-year-old Olivia feel who wanted to see those figures?
Honestly, it's a privilege, and I'm so honored that I was able to achieve that being who I am. And I think even if you look at it now, this is just paving the way to the money growth. And if you look at the other girls who have been bought for 1 million plus, they're also culturally have a background, which is amazing to see as well. So yeah, I think it's exciting to see where it's going, and I'm sure 10-year-old me would be really happy.
What was your sister's reaction? Because I know that she was a big part of the conversation last time, and you mentioned that she visited you at sporting. I mean,
Yeah.
she must be pretty excited when she goes to school and gets to look at all this news.
I'm not sure if she does. I think
No.
she absolutely hates like everyone like, oh, you're Olivia's sister. And then she comes back to me, she knows you don't have a name, right? She's like one of those. But yeah, she's handling it really well. I mean, she's visited me a couple times. She loves England. So I'm hoping to maybe bring her over sometime soon. She can get started over here.
He's a baller too, so I think we need to
Hmm.
be praise some
On the
respect.
lookout. On the
She,
lookout as well.
she's causing some chaos here.
Yeah.
Olivia, I want to divert a little bit to Canada, and working with Casey Stoney, who obviously worked in the WSL, so there's sort of those conversations. But early days, what's been camp like with Casey Stoney and that change over the last few months?
Honestly, it's been great. I think it's a change that we needed. We have very high standards here now, which I think best suits us and for us to work at our best. And I think everyone accepts it. We're up for the challenge. Ultimately, we want to win the World Cup. And in order to do that, I think Casey's the person to help us get there. She has a strong philosophy, which we all follow and we all agree with. So since we're on the same page, I'm sure we'll have great success in the next couple of years.
a lot of talk, obviously, for the 2027 World Cup. There's no summer competition next year, so that's one of the first few in quite a while where players get to have a rest in the summer. How are
Mhm.
you assessing that when you look at the schedule as a team, as sort of the goals that you're putting ahead for the World Cup? When you look at the fact that there's no competition in the summer, does that change things? Does that actually take off pressure when it comes to performance, or how do you approach that as a team?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is now we're focusing on what camps that we do have and making the most out of those. Although I do think not having obviously like a window in the summer will be good for us as well. There's been a lot of injuries, there's a lot of games coming up. So I think everyone needs some well-deserved rest as well, and also just like reset ourselves and really focus on our goals, because then we have another year after that. So I think that rest period will be good for us.
I think it's exciting. Finally, some players are getting rest. It's been much
Mhm.
needed, and obviously, a lot of players are very outspoken about it. Last one for you here, Olivia. What color is London?
Red.
I think that's the best way to end it.
Yeah, that was great.
Canada reps red, Arsenal reps red. You're just red all over.
Yeah, I love red. Red is my color, so I
Well,
couldn't stray away from it.
if that's the case, then you're wearing the right shirts for yourself.
Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to my chat with Olivia Smith. I hope you got to know more about the young, talented Canadian. Make sure you go over to my channel and check more of my interviews. I've got plenty of interviews with other players from all across the leagues and especially Canadian players. Other than that, apologies for what has been a very, very long absence. I've just started my final year of my master's degree, and it's been a heavier course load than anticipated, and certainly has left very little time to be able to get to enjoy and make these videos, which I put in a lot of time and effort to write these episodes and put together. And so unfortunately that time has been a little bit limited as I finish my research off. But once time allows, I will definitely be more back on consistent uploading and bringing you more valuable guests. As always, to stay updated and to continue enjoying the beautiful game, make sure you subscribe to me here on YouTube and follow me on Twitter. And I will see you later.